Hello and welcome. I'm a hotel AI expert, and I'm really pleased to welcome all of you from Europe Hotel School to your online learning journey. Now, if you're studying hospitality today, you are hearing about AI constantly, right? How it can optimize everything from bookings to housekeeping. But there's a critical piece of that puzzle that often gets overlooked, and that's what we're going to dive into today: the people.
So let's just get right to the heart of it. We know AI is powerful. It can streamline just about every operation and give revenues a real boost. The technology is amazing, no question. But the real question, the one that's going to define your success as a leader in this industry, is this one. How do you manage the people behind all that technology?
Before you can solve any problem, you've really got to understand where it's coming from. And when it comes to rolling out new technology, the main point of friction, well, it often isn't the software itself. It's that very natural, very human resistance to change.
Look, success with AI is a true balancing act. You can have the most advanced, most expensive platform in the world, but if your team doesn't buy in, if they don't actually use it, it's basically just a very expensive paperweight. This isn't just about technology. It's about people and organizational behavior, a concept I know you're all becoming very familiar with in your studies.
So what does this resistance actually look like on the ground, in the day-to-day of a hotel? Well, it usually boils down to some very real and very human fears. Things like, is a robot going to take my job? Or is this new system tracking my every single move? And of course, how am I supposed to learn all this complicated software while I'm just trying to do my job? These are absolutely legitimate concerns, and as a leader, you have to be ready with some real answers. Okay, so how do you begin to counter that fear and that uncertainty? Well, it's not with better code or faster processors. It's with something way more fundamental: open, honest communication. This right here is the absolute bedrock of any successful technology rollout.
And when we talk about transparent communication, believe me, it is so much more than just sending out a memo from HR. It's about creating an ongoing dialogue with your team. It's about the what, the why, and the how of these new tools. It really just means no secrets, no surprises. Just clear, straightforward information.
In every single conversation you have, every training session you run, it all needs to come back to this one core idea. This tool is here as a partner, not a replacement. It's here to make their jobs easier, more efficient, and to let them focus on what truly matters in hospitality: that incredible, irreplaceable human connection with the guest.
And you have to make that promise real for them, something they can feel. Don't just talk about abstract ideas like efficiency. Instead, show them what it actually means. Show that housekeeper how an AI-optimized route saves them miles of walking and reduces the physical strain on their body. Or show the front desk team how they can have crystal-clear, data-driven priorities during a chaotic check-in rush. Those are the kinds of real-world benefits that build genuine trust.
So once you've laid that foundation of trust, the very next step is to build confidence. And you don't do that by just flipping a switch overnight and hoping for the best. No, you do it by building a smart, methodical on-ramp to the new system. A really successful rollout is always a gradual process. You start small, right? Maybe with a pilot program in just one department. Then you have to actively listen to their feedback. What's working? What's a pain point? You take those insights and you use them to fine-tune everything before you expand. And please remember, the work is not done at launch. You have to be there to continuously reinforce the training and support your team as they get used to the new way of work. And listen, your supervisors and your department heads, they are your most valuable players in this whole process. They're your eyes and ears on the ground floor, hearing that real-time feedback and seeing the challenges firsthand. You've got to empower them to be the champions of this change, to tackle concerns right away, and to celebrate those small, early wins. This brings us to our final and, maybe the most powerful strategy of all. Don't just manage this change from the top down. Instead, invite your team to be a part of actually creating it. The old way of doing things was always the top-down mandate. A decision gets made in a boardroom, it's handed down, and surprise, surprise, it almost always leads to resistance. The modern and much more effective approach is participatory. When you actually involve your staff, when you truly encourage their feedback, you see engagement and adoption just skyrocket. It completely shifts the dynamic from "this is being done to us" to "this is something we are all doing together."
And let's be clear, this isn't just some nice idea. It's a proven management principle. The strategies we're talking about today are at the very heart of modern change management, the kind of theory you are learning to put into practice in today's incredibly dynamic hospitality industry.
So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought.
The technology, it's going to keep evolving. It will always change. But the core challenge of leadership, that stays the same. It is always about the people. So, when you're the one in charge, how will you bridge that gap? How will you make technology feel less like an imposition and more like a tool that truly empowers your team? Your answer to that question is what will define your entire career.